Welcome to another episode of the Metal Roundup. And as you can see, we've got a very special guest with us today for this episode. The legend that is Landon Tewers of the Plot and You is joining us for the chat. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Hi.
I appreciate it. It's good to see y'all.
Pleasure.
Dude.
Lovely to have you here. Myself and Birb, I've met you before via interviews. This is Drew's first time chatting with yourself. And we have a lovely old time. There's some interesting stuff going on in the world of yourself and the Plot and You, and also some other interesting stuff going on in the metal scene we want to talk about as well. But I suppose to start, the most topical thing, you've had a recent single out, which we were chatting about in our last episode, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Well, You Get One, which we've all enjoyed very much.
Thank you. I appreciate
And there's been a couple of things that we're curious about that song in particular. One for me was it had a sort of dancey vibe to it. And I didn't know whether this was your attempt at trying to crack that sort of dancey song when we chatted a year or so ago. Is that something else that's kind of down the line? Because it's kind of got that a little bit of an EDM to it, even though it is kind of a centralized sort of rock song. Is that dancey in a way in your head?
Now it is because, well, I remember in our interview, I had mentioned that I wanted to do something dancey. Do you remember that, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, I wonder if this is what he meant.
Yeah. No. So this was a happy accident. I didn't even realize it came across that way until it came out. And then Ethan, our bass player, was like, yeah, there's a bunch of girls on TikTok that saying it's like their new like dance song or whatever. I was like, well, what the fuck? I never would have thought that. But that's sick. So that crossed off a box, I guess, that I didn't intend to cross off. But no, it's sick, and I'm stoked it's out. We've been sitting on it for a minute. It kind of checked off a couple different boxes for things I wanted to do. Like I also wanted to have a Latin beat in a song. I threw that in there just at the end, just for a second. I wanted to pay kind of an homage to like the video games that I played growing up, like Twisted Metal and stuff like that. Just like super like Rammstein. What's that dude's name?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, kind of an homage to that.
Yeah,
and
I got that.
so yeah, it was fun. Yeah, but it's funny like people are talking about it being dancey and stuff, whereas the subject matter couldn't possibly be darker and more grim. Yeah, so it's pretty funny.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing we were wondering in particular is because of the vocal juddering in the chorus, we were asking last week on our episode, how are you going to do that live? Do you have a plan for that? Because you either try and do that with your vocal or do something with the effects of the track or do something completely different. What's your kind of plan? Do you have one?
Yeah, we do. I was actually stressed about that whenever I was making the song. And then I showed it to our sound guy. I was like, is this something you could do on your end? Because like, I don't know how I can't do that. So he was like, yeah, I think we can figure it out. So I'm pretty sure we'll find out in like a week whenever we get together for rehearsals. But he's convinced that he's got it figured out. So I'm going to trust him on that. But yeah, I think it's some kind of like automation trick because he already has a lot of my vocal effects and stuff automated. So he doesn't have to actually like physically ride any of the knobs to get the effects and stuff. He's more so focused on just like damage control, things like that. So pretty much our set, he organized it to where it's like he doesn't really have to be super active on a lot of things. If I remember correctly, he's more so focused on just like things that are happening in the moment, any kind of problem solving he has to do. So yeah, hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. Or it could be a shit show and I'll look like an idiot. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. You'll adapt.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Do you, when you're like writing music like that, Landon, do you have any concern for the live show in that moment when you're actually writing parts like that, or you're like playing around in the studio with like those production elements with the stutter vocals? Do you even think at all, or is it more like, oh, I'll deal with that when it comes to the live show? I'll get someone else to work on that.
I don't have a lot of respect for future me, so I kind of write things. I write a lot of things that I probably should take more consideration, like the live aspect of it. But I will say, like, I have managed to figure everything out thus far in our set, like how to actually be able to replicate it live. But there's been many times where we'll get to the practice space and I'm just like super embarrassed because I'm figuring it out on the spot. And then sometimes it's even taken like a couple shows and me just like drilling it into my head and just going over the same thing like 100 times to like really lock it in. So yeah, I kind of just push it to the limit with a lot of our songs and just pray for the best later. But with this one will be exceptionally challenging because it goes from like scream to like really low singy thing, like really fast, all in the chorus especially. So this one could be tricky, but luckily there's enough space with like all the effects and like different things going on instrumentally that I think it should be relatively easy to figure out at some point.
Yeah.
I was wondering that. Yeah.
But there's a whisper in it, which classically does not translate through a PA system that loudly. How the fuck? Or you hope the crowd whispers it?
I don't know. We'll see. Again, it's something I'm just gonna have to try to work out in the practice space, but yeah, we'll see.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I feel like I've mastered the technique of singing that in my car. It's the weirdest melody that I've ever had to sing along to because I'm like, like I'm doing the stutter while I'm singing along to it. So I'm sure if I can figure it out, I'm sure you'll figure out a way to make it work on. So
yeah, he reckons he's figured it out. I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I've had enough practice in the car. Don't worry.
You'll have to come up and do it live. Do a little guest spot.
I'm there, man. I'm fucking there.
Don't invite. He will.
I want to get me going. Banana costume as well.
I am really excited to play this one live, though. It feels like it's going to be a really fun one. You can usually tell with certain songs. There are other ones that I'm usually kind of questioning, like, is this going to translate? But this one kind of feels like it's gonna feel pretty fun to play. Yeah,
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there like one more song that's still upcoming that is not officially released?
Yeah, so there's one last one. I think it comes out in July, and then I can take a breather for a while, do some other things in life, and but I'm stoked on the last one. The last one's kind of like a pop rock song, actually. Probably the poppiest of any of the songs on any of the volumes. So I'm excited for it. It kind of reminds me of you remember that artist Sia? That Chandeliers. Yeah.
That song.
It's pretty heavily inspired by her. I think that's kind of So this last volume's extremely all over the place. Nothing really connects sonically.
But that's fine. You've established, as we chatted about, that your audience expects that. Like whatever you want to give doesn't have to all be necessarily in the same vein. That's part of the fun of it. I find,
at the end of the day, that was kind of the whole goal of all of these volumes in general, was just kind of throw everything at the wall and just see what sticks. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing with an album. Like, of course, you can experiment on an album, but you want some connectivity, and maybe there is some element of that within the volumes. I don't really see it a whole lot. They all feel jarringly different to me, but I that was kind of the intention. So yeah, hopefully we don't get any flack for that. But yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I had the freedom to do that.
You said You Get One is one of your favorites. Like, what else on this, like all these volumes, has been stuff that you absolutely love? Like, you love creating, you can't wait to perform.
Yeah, but honestly, most of them, I would say "Don't Look Away" ended up being like one of my absolute favorite live songs that we've ever played. That, "Forgotten," "Left Behind," "Spare Me" was another one I was really, really stoked to play live, and I felt like it translated pretty well. But yeah, all in general, pretty much all of them, I was really excited about. There was a couple that we've tried out that were maybe like not as exciting, but it's even still, just being able to play new music so consistently just feels great, because usually you put out a record and then you're playing those exact songs for years and you don't get to try anything new out. You just get fatigued on it. So this has been such an awesome opportunity to, like, every single tour, I think for the last couple of years, we've gotten to play new songs, and that's just been like incredible. And not only that, it's like most people, at least from my perspective, it seemed like not many people have had any issue with that. You know what I mean? I think people they've heard enough of the old stuff. They want to hear the new stuff live. So that's awesome, because nobody likes to play their old stuff, or at least not in our band. Nobody in our band likes to play old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, from what I was seeing at the most recent London gig, the newer songs were getting some of the bigger responses of the evening. So that's great, man.
Yeah, which is that's I think that's pretty much every band's dream, you know, for the newest stuff to have the most interaction. So yeah, it's all for us in the past. It's kind of always been like we'll put out a record, and it's like by those songs start to catch on by the time the next record's out. There's always been kind of like a delayed response in our career. So yeah, this has been a nice change of pace for sure.
Can we get some clarification from the like there's haters online that I see on Twitter about how this is becoming like an album now, like, oh, these are all old songs, but
Yeah.
like I know that when we talked about it, your idea was always to do EPs. But like I know that I think you've already kind of like had a statement about it, but like just verbally out there for people wondering why it's an album now.
I think people just don't know how to read, apparently. Yeah, I actually had someone DM me, like, actually upset, like, if you guys are just gonna keep putting out songs like on the same record, I think I'm just gonna block your band or something. I was like, okay, go for it, I guess. I don't know.
You don't need them.
I feel like we've been pretty upfront. We haven't tried to like swindle anybody or like, make anyone believe it's something that it's not. So yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Once everything's out and it's been out for like a week, people will forget that this was how it all came out to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody has the attention span. So yeah, I'm fine.
Exactly.
It's whatever. Yeah. I mean, I saw that happening to even bands like Bring Me and what's that? Falling in Reverse kind of did a similar-ish thing where it was like they had released most of the songs as singles before those records came out. And I would see a couple comments of people bitching about it, but now it's like, who talks about that now? You know what I mean? Now that the whole body of work is out, it's like, yeah. It doesn't matter. And plus, yeah, I mean, for us especially too, I've talked about this a bunch. It was such a cool way to really give every individual song its chance to shine, versus like you put out a record and like only the singles get looked at and then everything else is an afterthought, So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. No regrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm for it.
When you were writing the EPs, were you thinking in single format or were you thinking in EP format, if that makes sense? So was it like, let's do singles and then make it an EP, or let's do an EP and make that all cohesive together with the singles?
Oh man, for me, it was all singles. Yeah, I did not care about connectivity in the slightest. Every song was its own thing. I had zero intention of making it all like work together. It was just like, I wanted to give so much attention to each and every song. And yeah, having the time to do that was just awesome.
Yeah.
And I was writing a lot on tour too. So it was like, I was constantly around music, around, just different things to draw inspiration from. So it was kind of just like whenever that I felt a spark, that's when I would go at it. And if I was feeling burnt out, I would take a big long break. Like I think there was one point where I didn't write anything for Plot for like 6 months plus. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's not something you can do when you're making an album, so it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it gives you a lot of freedom to, we can get into it as well, but the visuals have been such a big part of the single rollout as well, which you probably maybe wouldn't have had as much time to focus on. One thing I heard you mention with the video, is it George? I think he's from Colombia, right? Did I get that right? George, yeah. I was curious how you met this guy from Colombia who's unbelievably talented at what he does.
Yeah, so we got sent like a bunch of different video guys reels, their cinema reels, to go through whenever we were like starting this whole process, and we found like a couple that we liked. I don't even remember how many we went through. It seemed like a lot, but then there was one day we were on tour and we stumbled across like his reel, and all of us collectively were just like, yeah, that's the guy. This guy rocks. And then for the very first video we did with him, we sent him like tons of notes and inspiration for stuff that we wanted to try, and he didn't do any of it, and we loved it. So we're like, all right, this guy's got it. I thought it was badass that he didn't listen to a single one of our ideas. I was like, that's so sick. Because in retrospect,
you're like, hey, wait, actually,
does he only speak Colombian? Is that why?
No, yeah. He's very No, yeah, it was awesome though. And he's just like, he's such an art nerd and just really cares so much about his craft that it was just like, yeah, after that first one, I was like, I'm not sending him a single note or anything. Like, I just want him to feel complete, total control over what he's doing. And that's how it's been every single time. And I've not been disappointed with a single one. My only concern now is that other bands are going to start paying him way more to do things than we can and steal him away from us. But no, I think
that's what I saw. Converge got him to make some videos, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, started to burst the
Beef
bubble.
just started out of nowhere.
Yeah, Beef just started.
You've created a monster. Yeah, no, I'll have to check that out. He's done a couple other. I know he did one for I Prevail, and I think he did one or two for We Came as Romans too. So I'm just talking shit. I'm happy for him to get work. Like he deserves it. That guy's he's a complete legend. So yeah, I think
it's all
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be doing some big shit. My bad. Yeah, he's going to be doing some awesome stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been part of the fun of any new release. It's like part of it's like, all right, great. What is the song? Obviously, but then it's like, what fucking mad shit are we about to see in this video? And that's part of the joy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's got hit with age restriction, Drew.
I got hit. Yeah, I was. That was one of my questions I wanted to ask you, Landon. Is like, do you guys not worry about like the reach of the videos and like maybe getting the music out there further because of how, for lack of a better term, vile some of the scenes are in the videos?
Yeah, it was a concern at first, and then we got away with Forgotten, I believe. Oh, Divide felt like it was kind of shadow banned a little bit. Like it definitely did not get the traction that we thought it would get. I think it's doing better now, but then Forgotten was like way more extreme, and that one went pretty viral.
Yeah.
And then, it's kind of just like hit or miss with some of the videos. Like even You Get One, I think, seems like it's getting a little bit of like that shadow ban treatment. But I mean, it wasn't like age restricted. So I don't know. It's really strange what they're like, what YouTube is sensitive to. So I'm not sure. It's
so
strange.
temperamental because my video got age restricted and it's the same video that you guys uploaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just random.
It makes no sense.
You can't plan then, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I would way rather take that risk and do something that I believe in that I think is cool. And I know that George is going to be stoked on it. I don't want him to have to like trim things down just for the sake of views. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if people really like the song and they want to go search out the video, they're going to find it one way or another.
Yep.
Yeah. So
absolutely. It'll find its audience eventually.
Yeah. Totally. And so even some of the videos, like I said, kind of felt like they got a little bit of that shadow ban treatment. Maybe at first they didn't really do that well, but like over time they've like started to get more views just because people probably look up other videos, get linked to that. You know what I mean? So I think in the end it'll work out. So yeah.
Speaking of things that end up getting a lot of views, your song Silence is getting a lot more attention in the new year here in 2026 because of a certain viral vocal cover artist by the name of MAPHRA who did that song. There was a bit of a surprise out of nowhere. Great taste she clearly has. What has that been like for yourself, discovering that cover has happened? Did you know about that before it was released, and what was your kind of reaction to it?
Yeah. So she followed me, I think, a couple months ago. And I saw her page. I looked at it. I was like, dang, this girl's like blowing up. She's got like crazy talent. It's like mind blowing. And then I just started seeing her name everywhere, like on Billboard stuff, like people reposting like different bands on Billboard, and she would be at the top. I'm like, holy shit, this girl's like actually blowing up. Like this is crazy. And her and I connected a little bit. And then she told me she was gonna do a Silence cover. I was like, that's so sick. So yeah, we've been talking quite a bit. She's gonna take over the world. I think she is definitely gonna be the next big thing. She's just insanely talented. It just seems so effortless for her. But yeah, I was honored that she did the cover. It was so cool.
This is more confirmation that she's not AI.
No, she is not. Yeah. It's just so.
Oh, sorry, dude. Go ahead. There's a bit of a delay here.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's just so cool to see like how not random because she is so talented, but it's crazy like how a cover can just wipe everything off. You know what I mean? Just completely captivate the world. Like that's
Mm.
it just goes to show like real talent just kind of transcends everything. You know, when something like that connects with so many different people, it's just like there's just this undeniable, incredible energy that is just yeah, it's magical. It's like one of those crazy once in a lifetime type things. Yeah, it's crazy. Though yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's a good point. It is just about the talent itself, because it's not like she's putting on crazy engaging visuals in the video. She's
Yeah.
just there in a mic. That is it. So it is what the voice is doing or not. Like that's the
Yeah.
whole thing. And that's translating for a lot of people. She's got a very unique voice, and it's fascinating to see a different way of doing things, a different sound, and hearing that treatment over songs that we know and love from the past. It's kind of an interesting
Yeah.
experience for us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I'm
so
gonna
much.
be honest too.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Landon. I just want to say when it comes to the silence, to be honest, man, that's not even like my favorite song from the EPs. Like, I guess maybe I just like a lot of the heavy stuff. I'm connecting with like Forgotten, Left Behind and stuff. So silence, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a cool song. I like it. I know Steve fucking loved that song. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should listen to it again. But then I checked out the MAPHRA cover. I'm like, oh my God, this song's insane. So now I've been learning to love silence so much more because of it.
Sick. That's all. I mean, yeah, that's so sick. It's crazy how, even a cover can help you kind of like it can almost reintroduce you into something, you know, and like really appreciate it in a different way. But yeah, she's got such a raw, effortless talent, and it's mind blowing. It's it's insane. Yeah, I'm really hoping I get to
Have
do.
you guys? Sorry, this light is killing me here.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Jumping in.
You're good.
So rude. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're good.
I was going to say, have you guys seen like I'm assuming you've probably seen a massive spike in the actual numbers on silence because of it. I'm such a nerd for all these like analytics and stuff, so it's fascinating to see like a cover of the song can send the actual original like into the stratosphere. I'd imagine it's made a difference anyway.
Yeah, actually, I'm a nerd about that kind of stuff too. I love looking at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last few days, it's like really, it's gone up. The metrics they're booming. But and yeah, I actually looked at some of our YouTube comments because I honestly don't look at that a whole lot. And I saw a lot of I'm here because of MAPHRA. You know, she introduced me to you guys. I was like, that's so cool. Yeah, and hopefully she can gain some new followers and listeners through us too. You know, we reposted it. We're all really stoked to share it too. So it's always cool when something like that can happen that just like benefits everybody, you know?
Yeah, it's win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there anything about her performance of Silence that you were looking at and you're like, damn, I should have done that? Or was there anything in particular about it?
Not specifically, just because she has like so much of her own thing. Like, I feel like it just suits her perfectly. And I think, I mean, I do think that she's got even more grit in certain like high parts of her voice that like I can't even like hit in that same way. But that's what makes it cool, is that it's like she made it very authentic to what she can do. And yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating to see how insane it's gone. Like the only thing I can think of that's similar to something like this in my couple of years of doing YouTube and like just seeing the metrics and the analytics of videos is the like Ginger Pisces one take performance that was going around. So I'm not sure if you've seen that video, Landon, but I know from like the reaction content that was like a massive deal. It was like, you got to check this out. This girl, this chick is screaming. It's fucking insane. And it was like, it went super viral. Everyone's channels were going crazy for it. And I haven't seen anything like that. You know, I mean, I haven't seen anything like MAPHRA since the whole Ginger thing. And this is probably even bigger than that from what I've seen. So it's kind of insane. And even Bring Me posting, I feel like Bring Me posting their performance of Doomed as a like teaser for their upcoming live performance thing that they did in Brazil. I feel like that was very like, this song's popping off right now. Let's use Doomed for the teaser. I think that was very craftfully done, you know?
Yeah, I mean, her video of the Silence cover has got, I think now it's on like 1.3 million views.
God,
That's
I haven't been keeping up.
wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's actually insane. I think that is definitely more than our actual music video of the
I
song.
think it's like double. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
Insane.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
pissed about it. I think it's awesome.
But yeah, but I mean, as you know, she's obviously a huge talent. But it's also the power of a good song. Like a good song can be delivered with different voices and still kind of stand test time.
Yeah.
I think that song's got everything in it, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear her do like her own material. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's going to be it'll be really sick to see like what choices she makes with her voice, like in her own, in her own lane. Cause and even, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, she's writing for her own voice. What is maybe in her toolkit that has been restrained by the songs she's chosen? Like maybe there's something else we haven't heard yet. Could be exciting to see.
Yeah, the sky's the limit for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to quickly ask you, Landon, because we'll probably end up going way past this, but just to jump back, we have a question from someone in our Discord from Carrie. There's a sample that was used, I'm assuming it's a sample, in You Get One. It's around the 36-second mark where it's like the Can You Handle It? But there's a sample, I think, behind it that Carrie believes is and it does sound like this. Are you familiar with the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like chime sound?
No.
There's like a sound, okay, right. It sounds very similar to that. And she was wondering if it was that, which I guess it isn't. You've pretty much confirmed it with what you've said there, but is it like a particular sample that you know off the top of your head that you'd be able to remember?
No, I actually can't think of what that would be. That's funny though. I used to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when I was a kid. So yeah, I'm surprised I haven't picked up on that.
Same.
Yeah, it's like a little diddly or something like that. But I was like, no way, it's obviously not going to be that. But then I listened to the song and I was like, holy fuck, that actually does sound so like that. I was like, that's such a cool Easter egg if that is. But obviously, just a coincidence, I guess.
I'll have to do one of those like production run through videos for this song to kind of like dissect all the layers, and then people can figure out what's going on. There's a lot of shit going on in that chorus. So I think that would actually be pretty fun to showcase. But confirmed, confirmed it is not confirmed it is not a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sample.
Yeah. The production rundowns are sick, man. It's again, like it's you can listen to those songs like multiple times. It obviously has a dancey feel, and you can listen to it on like a very surface level and just nod your head to it. But if you really like actively listen to all of the different, whether it be like some like weird bubbly distortion layer under the surface, I don't even mean just from the most recent song, but a lot of what you guys do is like adding in these production layers. And sometimes it doesn't always land for me, and it's not just you guys. Sometimes production layers in general just can be a bit of a miss. But when it does, then you just notice something that like on your fifth or sixth listen, then you're hearing and you're like, what the fuck is that? It's so interesting. So I commend the production breakdown videos, and I'd love to see one on the new song as well.
Yeah, I think this one would be a fun one for sure. There's a lot of funky stuff going on. It was funny. I actually saw a comment from someone a couple days ago that was like, "This is like their most technical song or whatever." I was like, "Dude, it's 2 notes. It is maybe the least technical song I think I've written in recent memory." But like, I guess there's so much going on with like production and things happening around it that it makes it sound like there's more going on than there really is. But yeah, that made me laugh.
Is it like maybe technical from a production standpoint from all the stuff that's added to it? Maybe?
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, the way I read it, he made it sound like he thought like guitar, drums, bass, like technical. I was just like, dude, this is like bottom of the barrel. Like there's barely anything going on. It could not be simplified anymore. But that's kind of like I have a lot of fun writing songs that way. Like there's actually Forgotten's another one. That's another like 2-note song, I think. I don't really write songs for like the guitars and bass and stuff to stand out. I'm pretty much like mostly focused on production and vocals, and then drums, bass, vocals are kind of just like the thing to fill it out and like bring the energy up and fill in any gaps. Unless, I'll try to find creative ways to like make certain things shine here and there. But like the stars of the show really are like the production and the vocals. Like those are the fundamental things that I'm focusing on. So yeah, it's fun. I love it.
Speaking of vocals there. In the chorus of that, it sounds like it's individual like bits that are recorded. It's not one vocal take going through all the. It sounds like you're going to go into a separate take for like the high falsetto-y bit and then back down. Is that out of necessity, or is that just how it was built as you wrote it?
So I did it that way at first, and then to like prove to myself that like it was doable, I had to like do a couple takes for like some backing vocals, and I was trying to like actually do it as one take. So there's like a little bit of both, but I wanted the most prominent, like the main vocal, to kind of have the like cutting in and out of different vocal things, because I would kind of sing into like the falsetto stuff. I would sing a little bit into it also in falsetto. But for the backing vocals, I think I kind of tried to do it more as a one take type thing. It was a lot of trial and error. That chorus was kind of a bitch to get through, but I just had a really specific vision for it, and I had to keep trying until I felt like I nailed it. But yeah, it was fun. It's definitely maybe the most bizarre way about going. The most bizarre way about writing a chorus I think I've ever taken. Yeah.
Well, it works. Fucking
It's
thanks.
fun.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
to say the least.
Yeah.
I don't know, something we've not talked about since, because we've not done a podcast for like a week or so, but since we last spoke, I was getting really excited about a new album from Bilmuri. Are you in aware of Bilmuri's work? Are you a fan of their stuff at all?
Yeah.
His stuff, rather.
I'd only really heard like singles like over the past couple of years, but I actually did jam that newest record. I think I had listened to most of the record before that too, maybe even the whole thing at one point, but I've always really liked it. I think he's a really talented guy. But yeah, I listened to the whole new record at the gym the other day, and I was very impressed. It's really cool. It's just so fun to listen to.
Have you heard it yet? Yes. Drew, have you heard it, Berg?
Yeah, I listened this morning. I don't love it as much as the previous album. I think they've like really run with the ideas from the previous album, which is fine, because they kind of made. I believe that sound that they are currently known for was spawned from the previous album, Steve, right?
Yeah, he kind of found it as he was riding American Motorsport, and then now he's kind of gone, what's the best I can do in this world I've built for myself, essentially.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was definitely like American Motorsports Part 2, but in my opinion, just didn't have that same shock value, I guess, or like that peak interest for me, because it was quite fresh for me. But it's still, in the grand scheme of things, in the albums that I've heard this year, it's still pretty fresh. Like, I think objectively he's doing something pretty unique. So still fucking solid. I mean, his some of his hooks are just undeniable. Yes. The redlining the mix in moments is hilarious as well. It's just
the opening track.
Yeah, kind of hard.
So awesome.
Hard.
Yeah.
So good.
It's hilarious.
It's just like, how the fuck is he? I was like, what are you doing to make this sound like it's breaking everything sonically? And they're just like pushing the mash. Like can't be it. Yeah, true folk.
Yeah. And look, they literally brought him in for 2 songs, right? I mean, well, I think he has writing credits on the full album or something, but if you look at the production credits, he's like in there as a mixing engineer on the intro track, and was it
Starfish Spreader?
Yeah, Starfish Spreader, that song. Yeah, he's like just in for those 2 tracks.
Yeah, Landon, you gotta up the song titles. Get some Starfish Spreaders.
Dude, I love that he does that shit. That's so awesome. Like, really brings me back. I feel like funny song titles definitely need to have a comeback.
We literally just talked about this like the other day.
Yeah, on Monday.
Everyone takes themselves too seriously. But yeah, dude, I remember putting the record on at the gym, and that first song came on. I was like, oh, they're really going for something different. And then song 2 plays, and it's like a pop rock country song. I was like, okay, I'm in for a treat, I guess. No, that band's incredible, though. I think they're doing really special stuff. And live, too. We got to play a festival with them last summer, and it was like just as good live as it is on the record. So, yeah, they rock.
Yeah, they're impeccable live. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't really understand it. That always sounds amazing.
Yeah. I like that they incorporate the female vocal live, too. Like in the sax, like even more sax parts live, too. I think that's so cool. Mm-hmm. Get like a totally different experience.
Gabby Rose is awesome.
Yeah, very talented.
Sax is cheating.
Saxophone is cheating.
It makes everything sound awesome. Yeah. Can take you from a 6 to a 10.
It's really come back. Yeah.
I missed it a little bit on the new album, though. I feel like, was there more on the last album? I feel like there was a little bit more.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit less of this one, but I don't. I mean, it might be part of just the nature of when the songs are written and put down. Who knows? Sure. I didn't ask that question, but yeah, it's whatever Johnny Frank reckons the song needs. He'll find the elements and bring them in.
I also love
he's got the formula locked in.
Yeah, I love the use of eagle samples throughout the record too.
So American.
I really appreciate it.
Someone's pointed out that like technically that eagles don't screech like that. It's actually a red-tailed hawk. It's don't ruin that. Like I choose to believe in the magic of the Bilmuri eagle.
Yeah, like I have American flag visions every time I hear that sound. Regardless of the context, I just see the American flag pop up. So I don't want to have like, oh, it's not an eagle anymore. No, I don't want to hear that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next.
I was going to say there's another release that's upcoming that is super interesting because I'd love to have your thoughts on it, Landon. But these guys are buddies of yours, band that you're touring with, Bring On The Rise, and is clearly re-recording Count Your Blessings, and which I think is really, really cool. And you also came from a super heavy background. So I'm wondering like how you think about the Bring On The Rise and re-recording, and or if this is like something that you thought about doing with your own music from like your early work.
It's definitely not something I think we would do because I think we all find our earliest works pretty cringy at this point. Maybe they even feel that way about their stuff. I don't know. I wasn't like super big into Bring Me up until they kind of like up until the Sempiternal album. I think that's when I kind of got on board. But I remember a bunch of my friends back in the day like loved those earlier records. So yeah, I think it's really smart actually too. I mean, deathcore is very clearly having a resurgence right now. You know, there's quite a few bands that are doing it very, very successfully. So I think it's a really smart move. And I saw that video of Ollie like practicing, like relearning how to scream how he was back in the day. I thought that was really sick. I'm interested. I always find it really fascinating when bands like re-record albums. Like I know a lot of people kind of hate that a lot of the time, but I've always like kind of enjoyed it, seeing like how people would go back and do things in a modern take, you know. Yeah, I'm super
the George
interested.
Lucas effect. It's like, well, I want to remake it because now what I can do is better. And it's like, well, you know what? As an artist, you're fully within your right to fucking do that. It's grand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it must be quite tricky because then you go, do I try and exactly nail the vocal take the way my voice was kind of in the range 10, well, I guess for their point, 20 years ago? Or do I make a modern Bring Me version of the song, perhaps? That's a tricky decision, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm curious if they're gonna. They're planning like a big show for it too, right? Something like that. I'm sure that'll be massive.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I'm at a festival at the time, so I can't go and check it out. But like that would be really, even though that of their albums, I'm only starting to listen to their really early stuff, and I didn't love Count Your Blessings. Not really my thing, but I'd still be interested to see like what is a modern Bring Me the Horizon performing that insane album live. Like I'd love to have been there, but I can't say.
Yeah.
I just really appreciate that they just do whatever they want all the time. I've just always found that to be really inspiring. You know, like they can go from making something so unbelievably pop, like EDM, to just straight going right back to full on heavy with something, and like everyone just loves them for it. Like I think that's really cool. They always just feel like a little bit beyond the curve. You know, it's refreshing. They're just the best band.
You guys are similar in a lot of aspects, though. I feel like Dispose. That's when I discovered you guys with Dispose. I'm like, damn, there's so much variety on this record. I like it. And then I went back to your earlier stuff, like, oh shit, it's heavy. And then with your new like volumes, like the Forgotten Left Behind are so like angry and intense. I'm like, I love it that you guys have not like lost your edge, but continue to experiment and try all these different avenues. It's like makes for such an interesting band.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I love both styles of music. You know, I've as I get older, I'm oddly getting more into heavy music, which is not what I expected. But I think heavy music is just at a really good spot. I feel like people are being really creative with it and innovative, and it's just like fun to listen to again. I don't. It doesn't feel like everyone's kind of just. I mean, there's a little bit of people, obviously, like inspiring each other, kind of copying each other's things. But like, I feel like there's plenty of bands that are very much like doing their own thing and like innovating and coming up with creative ways to be heavy again. And yeah, I'm here for it. I think it's awesome. I think I stepped away from like doing super heavy stuff for so long that it became interesting again. And now it's like, I was just telling someone this recently, like it sometimes feels like we're two different bands in one, because like we have a lot of fans that really do not mess with the heavy stuff, and then we have some fans that really don't like the heavy stuff at all, you know. Or yeah, like yeah, it's kind of like split, and then yeah.
It's like Bring Me too, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of new Bring Me fans that get a bit of a reality check when this,
I know, right?
this album drops, you know.
Just going to be shocked.
Yeah. The most fascinating thing, well, not the most fascinating thing, but I love the fact that it's like clearly showing that Ollie's got his ear to the ground with bringing Buster Out Home in to mix it, which I think is like a real statement to how fucking heavy this is actually going to be, because I know musically it's very heavy, but are you familiar with Buster's work, Landon, from Humanity's Last Breath? Yeah. So him being brought in, I think is pretty big deal. You know, I feel like Buster's always been like the underground dude for years.
Yeah.
And now he's like really getting up there, you know?
Dude, that's crazy. I did not know that. I had no idea that Buster was going to be involved. That's actually such a brilliant move. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That makes me all the more
sick.
excited. Yeah, Buster's awesome, dude. He's such a talented dude. He's just always he grinds so hard. It's cool to see that work ethic, and it's awesome to see it's like paying off so well for him. He's a great guy. I got to meet him at a festival we actually played with Bring Me in somewhere in South America. Oh, it was Mexico. I got to hang out with him for a while.
Throne, right?
Yeah.
Were they playing? Yeah, you guys are playing on the same thing. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So it was cool to chat with him. He's just like he's like one of the only other people I've ever met that was just so fine to just talk about nerd shit for like a couple hours, just sit there and talk about like compression settings and shit like that. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is a music machine. Like Humanity's Last Breath, Viljarta, Throne, multiple other projects that he's been working on. Like he got to a point, I've seen it in my own community, I guess, and just in the very niche communities of like Thal music, where people were getting sick of him mixing things because his sound is so him that it was like everyone was trying to gain that sound now, and people were like, he's so good now that people are actually getting fed up with him because like everyone wants that sound. So it's gonna be cool to see him working with a powerhouse like Bring Me, you know.
Yeah, it seems like there's a guy kind of like that every decade or every couple of years, you know what I mean? Like for a while it was Joey Sturgis. Everybody was going to him for every record. And then, you know, I think lately it's been a lot of like Zach Cervini. He's been doing pretty much everything like rock, metalcore type stuff, including us. But yeah, I definitely, Buster is definitely like the Thal. You want to like hit level 12 heaviness, that's the guy you go to. Yeah, but I mean, he deserves it. He does it well.
Yeah,
you're getting your name out there too. Like, there's a lot of bands that you produce, and I know Drew is huge on them. But Drew, what's that band that like with the Miguel? You're big on them. And I didn't realize you produce Save Us too, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I did 2 songs with them last year. I got sent their demos from their label. They're like, "Hey, would you be interested in working with this band?" And I jammed the demos. I was like, "Get them in here as soon as humanly possible. This band rocks."
Yeah.
And then I just finished up their record. I think I just sent the final masters like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, they were in here for a month. We did 13 songs in 4 weeks, and it's just incredible, like mind blowing. Yeah, I'm just so gracious to be part of it. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff from the ground up, and they brought a lot of stuff in. So it was just like nonstop creativity. Even when they weren't in the studio, we were texting each other about the songs. Like, yeah, it was like on the clock pretty much all day, every day for a month straight. But it paid off, dude. I think that band's gonna blow up in the next couple of years. Yeah,
Miguel's, I think it is, right?
Yeah, dude, his voice is insane. It's just like you can tell him the most like detailed, crazy idea to do with his voice, and he can just do it on the spot. Like I'll be like, just try to add a little bit of vibrato in that word, and then like ramp up the emotion towards the end of this, and it's just like first try, he's got it. I'm just like,
Oh,
fuck off, man. Yeah, he's awesome. He's actually become like a really super close friend of mine. We've been working on some of his solo stuff on the side too. So yeah, I think you're going to be hearing a lot about that band. Yeah,
I think so.
we loved their song. Was it called Bruised?
Bruised, yeah,
Bruised.
Yeah, that was so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
The album is crazy,
What a-
crazy dynamic too. There's like pop songs, there's crazy heavy stuff,
Great.
everything in between. It's really cool. It's an adventure.
That has me hyped.
Oh.
Yeah, the song that followed the Bruise, the single, the name escapes me, but that
Zero.
one, Zero, yeah, that kind of, it gave me Falling in Reverse vibes in a way with the kind of like rap section. Because of Bruise being such a specific style. When I heard that, I was like, this is really, like, as you mentioned, there's a lot of variety across it. So it is going to be an exciting album to check out because it's not just like, you know, song like Bruised, maybe heavy song like Bruised. There's clearly going to be variety. So it's exciting.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job of kind of just like checking off all the boxes, you know, for a record. It's so dynamic, it's so emotional. It's just a powerful thing. So yeah, and I'm stoked I got to mix it and master it and everything. So it's kind of our baby. I'm very excited for people to hear it.
Amazing.
Exciting.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Is there any other, I know you were speaking about bands that you're somewhat involved in. Is there any other bands that you're really interested in the do you, like in the modern metal space or in the underground scene? Do you keep your ear to the ground much?
Yeah, I try to, especially the last couple years. I feel like I didn't pay attention for so long that I might have even gotten like out of the loop with like what was cool. And I think I listen to it more so these days just to like keep up on like what people are doing in like modern mixes and modern productions and stuff like that. I just find it fascinating. And I love hearing people be innovative, especially with like mixes and production stuff. So yeah, I try to, especially in a lot of my friends' bands, I try to always listen to new singles that they put out and stuff like that. But yeah, there's quite a few that I'm super stoked on. There's this band called Vianova. I'm sure you guys have heard of them.
Oh yeah.
Everyone loves them.
We're big fans.
Yeah, they're awesome. There's this band called Newcomer. They're from Queens, New York. They're so insane. I did a feature on one of their songs last year. I think they have potential to really blow up. It's like really creative, heavy stuff. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I still think Cane Hill is like violently underrated. I think that
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that they deserve a bigger spotlight. But yeah, there's a lot of cool. This other band, Downswing. I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed their last album. It's great.
Yeah. I might be doing some stuff with them in the near future. Their stuff's really cool. I didn't really know much about it until really recently, but yeah, they're doing awesome stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
They've got it honed.
I'd like to get your perspective on this one band that we all checked out on our own channels, but they're going massively viral. But there's no vocals or anything. Like, it is just weird ass music. But Angine de Poitrine is like this band from Quebec. I don't know if you've seen on your I don't know, social media or something, like these people in these weird costumes with like polka dots, but they play music with like odd time signatures, but it's microtonal music. So the guitar like has like, I don't know, like 40 frets, and he's just playing these weird off key notes, but it's getting fucking massively viral. I don't know if you came across it
in between the frets, so you could do like a quarter tone change. It's like, what the fuck is this? But it kind of works. I don't know.
That's so
I don't
sick.
understand it. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
so you haven't seen it, Landon?
I haven't seen that yet. I think you sent it to me. Steve sent it to me the other day. I don't think I got a chance to check it out, but that sounds right up my alley.
You seen the thumbnail and you're like, what the fuck is Steve sending right now?
Maybe another time, Steve.
Looking freaks.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it kind of
so
like
weird because
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I got like 10 million views on the performance. So basically they did like a full performance on KEXP and it's at 10 million. And now it's just like blowing up. Like you got your Rick Beatos like covering it too, like saying, stop sending me this. Like it's weird. It's like Sleep Token for people who hate Sleep Token or something.
It's also kind of like if you ever saw Clowncore, it's an oddity, but it's really musically talented. But it's like, I like it. I'm impressed, but it's also too weird to live. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I'm excited to check that out. That sounds right up my alley. I'm glad that you said Clowncore because that was kind of like what I was thinking. I loved that when it came out. So sick.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Them like playing in a porta potty.
Oh, that's genius. It's so cool. Yeah, I only saw that one porta potty one from Clowncore a long time ago. And I've like literally about a week ago, I saw one called Computers, I think it was. And they were in a car and I fucking love it. So
I don't think I know what Clowncore is.
Dude, you got to react to it.
It's incredible.
Thing?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
The thing about Clowncore though is like it's funny and goofy, but I don't go back to it. But like the Angine, the Poitrine stuff is like weirdly addictive. They say that in comments. Like step 1 is like you get weirded out, like it's confusing. Step 2, you kind of want to go back to it. Step 3, you're obsessed. And it's like it's weird because the music is so off key, but it's kind of like satisfying.
Yeah, I did a reaction to it, and then after that, I was like, I want to see what Burb thought of it or Drew thought of it. And as I'm watching them, I'm going, I'm now kind of vibing with the song. Fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I love when that kind of stuff happens. It's so sick. That's kind of how I felt about that band Viljarta. When the first time I heard it, I was like, how could anyone enjoy this? And then I just kept finding myself coming back to it, like, wait, this is kind of insane. This is kind of awesome. Yeah.
You've definitely got your ear to the ground, man. We're getting Viljarta shout outs. Vianova. I'm so happy that you like Vianova, by the way. We had Alex on last year. It was last year, right? Yeah, last year. Yeah, Alex is great. He's another workhorse with the social media stuff. He's insane.
Yeah. It seems like it. Yeah, their social media stuff is awesome. They're always doing goofy shit.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Their whole shtick, for lack of a better term, with the outfits is brilliant.
Yeah,
people wearing it to shows and stuff in the crowd already, like wearing the what have we got a name for the hat? Was it like is it? Yeah, I don't know what the official term is, but
furry cap doesn't sound
pimp
right.
hat.
But,
it's like a pimp hat, or I don't know.
Yeah,
no, I don't know if that is.
Where are
I
they
saw
from?
them actually a few days ago. They're from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Berlin, Germany. And they've just been on tour with novelists across the UK. So I caught them actually a few days ago. And they now have the guy who produced the album is now playing guitar with them live on stage as well.
Oh, sick. That's awesome.
Okay, I was wondering what that was.
They crushed it, man. The energy transfer of their music live was so fucking. The crowd goes feral, is how I put it. Everyone's kind of like, this is amazing. And even the people who might not know who the fuck they are. There was some gig in Manchester. Someone commented on my video saying they came on stage. And when they finished, some guy went, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I liked it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was just such a fresh thing. Like I randomly stumbled across it like on it by accident. I don't know, maybe like 6-8 months ago, something like that. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like exactly what I've been looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, like their song "Whatever All Right," I feel like is a kind of kindred spirit with the Plot and You. There's something about that kind of like the production on it, the electronics, the kick drum, and the way it builds into the crescendo of screen vocals. I'm like, this Plot and You and Vianova tour when? Surely
that's a good show.
Dude, I'm pushing for it hard. I have to make that happen. I'll be watching them every single night.
Sick,
dude, they're sick.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
rock.
Well, have you
go ahead, Drew.
I was going to ask if you were familiar with the band Sachi 6 by any chance?
Yeah, that's actually,
it looks like it's Sace 6, but it's Sachi 6, I think.
Yeah, I listened to quite a bit of their newer stuff. A buddy of mine has been friends with them, I guess, for a long time, and he was like constantly trying to get me to check them out, and I just like kept putting it off, and then I randomly found it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is awesome. The singer of that band's insane. The fact that he can come up with melodies over some of those guitar riffs is kind of baffling to me. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, like, if somebody sent me these riffs and were like, okay, write something catchy over this, I'd be like, no, I'm good. I can't do that. Oh yeah, the fact
No.
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, the fact that he can pull that off with all these crazy guitar sounds is like actually very
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
another band that you're going to be seeing a lot of in the next couple of years.
I think
So
so.
many,
Yeah. As soon as they
so
signed to
many.
Sumerian, it just seems to.
Yeah. There's just so many up and coming bands right now that I think are just so killer, that are just doing such like impressive, like innovative shit. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So exciting.
It seems almost like, how do bands even stand out? I guess from your perspective, for being in the game for, 15, 16 plus years. I actually only listened to your first album this morning. That was an absolute experience compared to where you guys are today. But like, I guess from somebody who's been around the scene for so long, would you have any advice for like people who are trying to get into, I guess, maybe make it a career, or, make an income off of music at some point? Would you have any tips for those people that maybe are already in a band, they've got themselves established musically, but they just want to get their names out there more?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. I really think, I mean, you kind of already said it, but it's like you really do have to really stand out to leave an impression. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that comes a lot from just authenticity and like really taking the time to hone in on your craft and like experiment and take the time, because I think so many bands, they just see what other bands are doing and it's successful for them, but it's like it's successful for them because they took the time to develop that sound for themselves. You know what I mean? It's not, you can't just take that roadmap and expect it to work for you too. So yeah, it can be frustrating and it can almost maybe sometimes feel like impossible, but like that's really where the magic lies, is just your authenticity and like, your sound, and that's not something you can just borrow or like bullshit your way through. That's just, it is what it is. So yeah, just taking the time to master your craft and really try to make your own identity in the music world. There just are no cheat codes. You see someone like MAPHRA just blow up out of nowhere. There's a reason. It's because she's got something special. And I mean, I don't know what her training is, but it seems like she has a very good grasp on what she does, and she has a lot of control and a lot of character. That's not something, maybe she was born with it. She is that lucky, but yeah. It's just,
Even with that, is her tonal approach is unique. Like the approach of how she goes from like her singing to her screaming. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it that way before. It's like some kind of monsters coming out from like that whole transition is really interesting. It's like, totally. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a competitive job field too. There are so many musicians that are trying to make it, and and there's tons of musicians that are grinding all day, every day. It's their entire existence, so like, you just got to really want it and you got to grind for it, because it's not something that's easy to get into. That's for sure. I mean, I've been in it for close to 20 years now, like doing music for a living. And I'm just in the last like 5, 6, 7-ish years have been like actually, things have actually been starting to work out for us in the way that we had always hoped. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of failure. So yeah, it's rough out here.
That's the commitment, though. 15 years. Like, it might take 15 years, folks. Keep going. Like, that's incredible.
I don't mean to sound discouraging,
No. But worth it when you get there. Like, if you love the thing, do the thing. It won't matter how long the road is. Just do it because you love it. And that's probably what will help you discover the unique sound that only you would make. If you love it, that's probably what you're going to end up leaning into.
100%.
Yeah, you can pivot too. Like 10 years later or something, you develop like a new sound, and then you go into a different direction. Then it just kind of changes the direction of the band or something. Yep. But I think there's like a weird segue that I can try doing, because I hung out with a band last night.
Oh yes, please.
But the thing is, they are doing something interesting. It is really interesting, I think, from a marketing perspective, and like, because one thing is for sure the music and how you stand out, but this band is doing so much with their community that I haven't seen other bands do. But I hung out with Johnny from Health. Landon, have you listened to much Health?
I'm familiar with a couple songs, not a whole lot though.
Okay, So anytime you hear cum metal or anything like that online, blame it on health.
Okay.
So they've done collaborations with like Bad Omens and shit. But anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm friends with the band, and Johnny invited me out last night to see them live. And after the show, he invited me to their party bus. So basically, he brought 35 guests over to a party bus. And like, dude, this is so like his fans are following him like, I don't know, a flock of ducks or something. He's like this weird cult leader. This is like some really tall Italian Asian dude. And he is so like, all his fans are also like into like BDSM or something. They're all like dressed in cum metal shirts. It's really weird. We get on this party bus. I don't know what's going on. I'm not drinking too. I don't even live in the city anymore, dude. And once I get in there, the party bus, the music is so loud. It's like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, dude, what am I doing here, man? Like, so I eventually had to tell Johnny, like, hey, dude, I gotta bounce. I can't be here. I gotta go home. I got a dog that I have to check on and stuff. But like, the thing is, what is crazy is that he is doing something with his audience, his followers that I haven't seen. And one other thing that I find super interesting about this is that this wasn't Johnny's idea. This is the label's idea.
Wow.
The label suggested, hey, Johnny, we're going to rent a party bus. Bring your some of your fans over. We're going to make it a thing. You know, we're going to offer drinks, bags of chips, have some DJs. When the DJs were like dressed in pimp suits, like, all right, like,
dude,
are you ready? Like,
that sounds like a recipe.
Weird.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster, honestly.
I know.
Yeah.
There were poles in the bus. I saw the footage. There was like a ball pit.
Poles. There was a ball pit. Yeah, there's a ball pit and just like crazy neon lights. I'm like, but the thing is, they rented this bus for their fans, and like, but like, he has such a dedicated fan base. Also, when I met up with Johnny at first initially, he's just like, hey, dude, hey, burb, like, just give me a sec. I got to go get some Kashin from this guy. I'm like, Kashin? What the hell is Kashin? Like, does he mean cash? Like, I don't know what are you trying to say? Anyway, I waited for him 10 minutes later, and then he brings this follower over, and he brings this kid over, and he's like, I'm like, hey man, and this guy's like not talking very much. I'm like, how's it going? Like, how do you know everyone here? He's like, oh, I appeared on Johnny's Twitch. I'm on his Discord, and now I'm here. I'm like, you're literally backstage. Like, he just has these flock of followers. But anyway, I guess how I could segue into this is that if you also want to be a unique band, there's Health, who are doing some really weird, interesting things with their fan base, and it's working.
But it's
sold
very
out
much
show.
their thing. It makes sense for them. It seems authentically that like Johnny is a fascinating, eccentric character, and he's leaning into that, and it makes for the most amazing stories. The man is incredible, but it's authentic.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah. That's
I
crazy.
haven't met anyone quite like him.
Yeah,
You can't
could
replicate
never.
Johnny, so don't try. Yeah. Not you,
That's
Landon, specifically, just anyone. No one can replicate Johnny. He is an anomaly.
You know what? Actually, it's funny. Like,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you get one. I felt like, damn, this chorus kind of reminds me of Health a little bit, and that's why I'm like, does Landon listen to Health? Yeah, so it's like industrial metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we worked with Drew Folk, the first time we ever went to him, he was like super hyped on that band at the time. I think that's where I heard of them. But yeah, not super familiar. But yeah, that's a level of extroversion I could never even fathom.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
I have a hard time even going to see my friends' bands play, because like it'll be like a half hour and it's so loud in the venue. I'm just like, I got to get out. I'm getting a headache.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the album is dropping in, it's like 60 something days. Looking at the countdown on Spotify. What is the definite date for the? I know it's not like the album as we were, the traditional.
Roman numerals.
What is it? Is it May or June?
I think it's July something. I'm not exactly. I'm not sure why we decided to make it that late. I think it had something to do with vinyl or something like that. But probably the most spread out release in human history. But it's almost we're getting there.
July 10th. Yeah. Okay. And I'm assuming that's when is that when you said the single's dropping with it? I'm assuming that's just going to roll out with the final album.
Yep. That last song. the Sia inspired song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
And I know you don't want to look too far into the future, but in terms of, I guess, the experimentation from the beginning of the volumes to where we are now, where you're rolling out the final single on the album, was there like conversation with the label in the like negotiations of like, let us do this and we'll see how it goes and then we'll go from there? Or is it like, you're doing this, it's album next? Like, what will be the next step beyond this? Or do you not even think about that right now?
We haven't properly discussed it yet, but with the label at least. But I think I'm leaning towards an album for the next thing. But maybe finding a more creative way to still make sure the songs kind of get the proper attention. I don't know. I think I would like to do an album, and I think I would kind of like to try something with like a central theme the next time around, because I feel like I've gained quite a bit of perspective, through this whole process, that I think the challenge of doing an album sounds kind of nice. And I feel like we have enough material now that still feels fresh enough to where I can take a bit of time and write an album over a span of, maybe a year or so, and hopefully come up with something I'm stoked on. But yeah, I think album is what we're leaning towards.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it ends up being, we'll be very excited to hear it.
I appreciate it.
All of us genuinely been really appreciating and enjoying what you've been doing recently, especially with the Plot and You and all the singles you released. So thank you very much for your time today. It's been a joy to chat to you about your projects, what you're doing, and the scene in general. Man, I really appreciate it, Yolanda. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Well, that was a joy. What a wonderful individual Landon Tewers was. Make sure I'll put some links in the description to this episode so you can check out their stuff in future. But exciting. There's maybe an album coming at some point. He's doing some tours. He's playing Download Festival, The Plot and You. So we're going to definitely try and check him out there. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to this on YouTube or follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Rate us 5 stars if you really enjoyed it. Also, there's bonus episodes available to you. A ton of them that we've done. We've done like almost 4. I think it's 40 now.
40 plus.
Yeah.
So subscribe for like 1 month on Spotify or YouTube as member or Patreon Backstage member. You'll get like 40 bonus episodes. Hours
they're a little bit more unhinged too, I would say.
So unhinged.
Yeah, we're going to get naked now in a minute and go do one.
No, we're not.
Depends on
consider
how
them
much
otherwise.
we charge.
Yeah, we haven't got a tier for that yet.
Yeah, we got to.
What do you mean yet? Yes. Thank you for being here, folks. Appreciate you. We'll catch you again very soon.
Cheers.
Peace.